So this is part 2, or like the very ending piece of the notes for 2D. I started the notes and then my video quit, so here we go. Here's the end. So what I'm talking about is random sample, non-random sample, randomly assigned treatments or not would determine the types of conclusions you can make in a study. And I'm going to start with the worst one of all. If you don't randomize the sample or the assignment of treatments, there are no valid conclusions you can make. You haven't done anything right. I'm sorry. And that's why I said that random is like the most important concept in this chapter. You can't make any valid conclusions about anything if you don't randomize, because there's so many confounding variables. But what's usually done is either people do a random sample or randomly assigned treatments. These are the two most common. So if you do a random sample from a population, you can make conclusions about the larger population that you took the sample from. And of course, you should pay attention to things like undercoverage. If you did landlines and you left out the younger people because of that, then you can't make conclusions about people who didn't have landlines and things like that. But you can make conclusions about whatever population was available to be in your random sample. If you do randomly assigned treatments, and usually that's done with volunteers, so it would be not a random sample, just randomly assigned treatments, then you can make conclusions about the treatments and cause and effect. So researchers usually choose one of these two. Those are the two most common, based on whether they're trying to study a population or trying to study the treatments and the cause and effect. It's kind of like looking at the nouns or the verbs. Are you looking at what are your subjects like, or are you looking at what do your treatments do? And it's very unusual, but could be done, that you do both. So you could take a random sample from a population and then in your random sample randomly assign treatments. That'd be like the best of both worlds. Then you can make both kinds of conclusions. Because then you could make conclusions about the population and about the cause and effect of the treatments. This isn't done as often as maybe it should be, but it's a good idea. What usually is done is you use whatever volunteers you have, and then when you're writing up your results, you say, but we can only generalize to other people that are like these people. For instance, let's say you do a medical study and all the people in your study are male. Then maybe you shouldn't be saying that this would also work for females because you didn't actually try it on them. But if you take a random sample from the whole population and you get males and females in there, then you could make a conclusion. So you could only make generalizing to the population if you have a random sample, and you can only make cause and effect thing if you have randomly assigned treatments. And that's really important. The scope of inference is an important idea. So thank you for listening to this last little bit that was in a separate video. And that's it for this lesson.